Um, hopefully you can hear me. Can everybody hear me okay? I don't have my printed shirt. I don't have my Sasquatch blue shirt on. I use all the time. Sometimes you just got to break down and do laundry. I wasn't able to do the sunrise live this morning. The Mother Nature was not having it. The clouds would not even, the sun could not even break through the clouds. So hopefully tomorrow morning. Hey everybody. So, hey chicken explorers. So this morning what I want to go over is a couple things first. I got some mushrooms. I'm putting them in my dehydrator. And I'll talk about that in a second. A couple of weeks ago I decided I was going to start being more careful with what I eat because I can get carried away sometimes. Anyways, so I'm trying to have my breakfast is protein, the protein mix with milk, and then a vegetable or a fruit, and then turmeric and some cinnamon. So I'm going to show that in a minute, but for just a second, let me just point you down this way. And what I'm doing, hopefully I will not cut myself. I'm slicing up mushrooms. If you've never seen it, for I think it was $30, I got this mini cube dehydrator. It's very simple to use, and I've been dehydrating things. I've done jalapeno, I've done apples, I've done bananas, and all I'm gonna do is I'm slicing up some mushrooms. The stumps and little pieces I have been chopping up and putting in here because this will go in my eggs this week when I'll put eggs with onions and stuff in it and mushroom. And then I'm doing a pan gravy later for a cooking video I'm doing for later next week. But I'm just cutting them in thin slices and adding them to my dehydration unit. And then, like I said, as I chop, pieces fall off, they go in that bin there. And then I just take another tray and I add the tray here. I'm already on my third tray, I already started. Like I said, the stumps I already chopped up for my other uses. I gotta be careful because I just sharpened my knives this morning. And let me tell you something. You take a hillbilly from Oklahoma and originally upstate New York, and you give him a sharp object and a video camera, you just wait. You're gonna see something. I actually did cut myself doing a cooking video one day. And I had to edit it out. But later on in the video, you could see the Band-Aid. And that's just the way it is. I find one of my best knives for cutting stuff. I have a butcher knife, I have a chef's knife. It's an $80 chef knife because I wanted one. And I find myself using this fillet knife more than anything. I just keep an edge on it and this slices through anything. I use this for slicing through chicken bone. So this will only take me a couple seconds here. And then I've already got my coffee prepared. And I hope people stick around that are familiar with YouTube and how you guys are doing videos, because I need some advice on a couple things, and I already see some of the people in here that will offer me some sage advice, I hope. Or they'll tell me to get lost, one or the other. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just an old dude with one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel who scours the obituaries every morning to make sure I'm not in them. I shouldn't joke like that, I guess, but I do. So I love mushrooms. You either love them or you hate them. But I like soil. I like the smell of soil, and I think that's why I like mushrooms, because when you start cutting into them, they smell like the soil, and you know, that earthy smell I really enjoy. So I'm currently working on a video, and the house right now smells like slow cooked beef, and it smells like slow cooked beef for a reason, because what I'm working on is something that requires slow cooked beef. I'm working on, if you saw my community post the other day of those pastries, it'll make more sense when you see the video. And I'm working on it now. It's been in the slow cooker for about 2 hours. It's just stew beef. Okay, so there it is. That is my dehydrator. This cost me about $30 off of Amazon. It's very, very basic. It's got an on temp. You push that and it just starts the fan. And I just put the top on. The top is vented here, 4 places, and it just rotates in like an air fryer kind of. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna put it in for I'm gonna put it in for 4 hours, 3 hours, because I don't know how. And it's on max temp. So I'm gonna put it in for. There it goes. So it's at about, I think it's 35°C. It only reads in centigrade, it doesn't do Fahrenheit. So it's at 35°C, and this will run for about 4 hours. I've never done mushrooms before. So let me just scrape this tray off, because I want to show you guys something. I mentioned it the other day, what I did. So all of these will go in my eggs during the week, and I'm doing a pan gravy for the recipe I'm working on today. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you knew I grew pumpkins, and I started drinking these protein shakes. And so I got the protein mix, and I said, you know what? I said to myself, hey, Okie, you have pumpkin, you have protein powder, you have milk, you have cinnamon, you have turmeric. Why in the world are you not making a pumpkin cinnamon smoothie? And for once, I did not have an answer for myself. You're gonna laugh. My wife has this blender, a drink blender for like shakes and smoothies. And yes, it's purple. Yes, it's purple. And all I do is, this is raw. This is raw, frozen pumpkin. So this is just another thing you can do with pumpkin. Pumpkin is very versatile. This thing is it's charged up using a USB. And it tears up frozen strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. This pumpkin, it tears it up nice and smooth, makes it like a puree. And the other day, the first one I had, it tasted like I was drinking pumpkin pie. It was just quite amazing. And I've been looking up the health benefits, and pumpkin has a lot, I'm talking a lot of health benefit. And being mine is completely organic. And when I talk about organic, I mean it's organic. It's got my compost. It's got this stuff for compost. It's got banana peels, orange peels, coffee grounds. And then all I do is I put this top on for a second. Now this is just charged with a USB. Then I take the top off. Now what I do is I've been putting in about almost a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I like turmeric, and turmeric, I'm told, does have health benefits. And I like turmeric, so I've been adding turmeric. And then what I do, whoops, whoa, I forgot. And I add about, I just use this thing. I just take heaping half teaspoonfuls. I do like 3 or 4 teaspoonfuls. And I've been doing this for breakfast now for the last week or so. And I feel much better just because, I mean, I would eat a big breakfast because I work outside a lot. And then, not really have a big lunch, but then I eat a big dinner. And I was just, sometimes I get a little carried away, let's just put it that way. And then all I do is hit that. Give a little shimmy shake. That's all she wrote. Now, before anybody laughs or gives me any grief, yes, my wife has purple cups. She does have purple cups. So, let me get this over to the table. Let me get you guys over to the table. Hearth and Home, it is a good color. It's my wife's favorite color, so. So, you know, my wife, it's her favorite color. It always has been. And I indulge her. I mean, why not? I mean, I don't care. Like I said, as long as my house is clean and workable and functional, it is what it is. Got my coffee. This morning I'm treating myself to caramel macchiato creamer. I usually drink black coffee, but hey, Troy. Okay, now I'm here. I got my computer in front of me. We've talked about the sunrise live will be tomorrow, hopefully. And like I said, if something happens and the sunrise doesn't happen, then I'll change it to Sunday, you know. I got my breakfast drink. Give it a try. If you have the protein mix, even sweet potato, carrot, anything would be good like that. Let me give you a blue tag here. But honestly, this tastes like pumpkin pie. It's delicious. Yeah, so my wife has the purple truck. She's got a purple blanket on our master bed. We got a purple comforter, purple pillows for the couch, purple glasses. She has a purple combination lock for something I just saw on the dining room table over here. So anytime she gets something, she buys something, she gets it purple if it's for her, pretty much. Hey, Jane. Calamity Jane's here. If you get a chance, I shared the short, but go check that out. My favorite color is blue, pretty much. I just always like blue. I like the blue. I like when the ocean is blue, reflecting the sky, the blue sky. I just always liked blue. And I'm sitting here monkeying with that light there. There we go. So mine is blue. I like green. I like forest green and things like that. Hey, Chef Zed. The mushrooms, Janet, once the mushrooms are done, so how long will they last? I don't know. I've never done it before. I know I vacuum seal them when I'm done. So they'll go in my, I'll put them in a bag, excuse me, and I'll vacuum seal them. And they should last, I would think, at least a year, because it takes all the oxygen out, anything that can help them oxidize and mold or anything. It will not last that long. The reason I'm doing it is because my wife will make, I make our family's tuna casserole. We love tuna casserole. And most tuna, or a lot of tuna casseroles use cream of mushroom. So you know it comes in with like diced pieces of mushroom. Well, my wife will eat, she loves tuna casserole. She'll eat the whole thing, but she'll pick those little pieces of mushroom out. She doesn't mind the flavor she likes the flavor, just like onions. She likes the flavor in the mix. She does not like the texture when she eats them. So she pulls them to the side and we toss them in my plate whenever we're having dinner. So she picks through and she throws them in my stuff and I eat them because I like mushrooms and I like mushrooms. So what I'm going to do with those mushrooms are, once they are fully dehydrated today, I'm going to be chopping them up in my food processor, and I'm going to put them in a little shaker, and then I can add them to dishes. And like I said, my wife, she won't even know they're there. Just like sometimes if I do a dish with onion in it, I'll use my microplaner, because onions are mostly water, and if you microplane the onion, it literally just melts into the dish. So like I said, she likes the flavor of both, but she doesn't like the texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry them, grind them up really fine, and then I can put a teaspoon of, because mushroom is good for you, so I can throw mushroom into any of our dishes. So if I'm making a soup, I can throw in a couple tablespoons of mushroom, so on and so forth. Okay, foraging, that was going to be one of my questions for later on, was, has anybody made an apple pie? Because I have apple trees, and once I start producing apples, supposedly or allegedly, those trees I got one Gala, and one Fuji, and they're supposed to produce anywhere from 500 to 1,500 apples, depending on how well they're pollinated each year. So if that's the case, I'm gonna make applesauce, and then I'm gonna dehydrate a bunch of stuff. So I bought a dehydrator. It's only, like I said, I got it for 30 or 35 bucks off of Amazon. And honestly, it's cheap, it's plastic. But I've done strawberries, bananas, jalapeno, and other stuff, and it does really well. So now that I know I want to do it and push forward, next year, one of the things I want to do is get a better, hey Grandma Teresa, hey Spongy, I want to get a better dehydrator, a bigger one. I have an air fryer oven. That's the double oven. It's an air fryer. I've dehydrated in that before, but it just does not do a good job. So that is one thing I'm going to change. I'm going to try to get a bigger dehydrator, and then I can just dehydrate more stuff. Because I really want to get into, obviously homesteading, you're looking at processing food so you have it for long term. Canning, freezing, cold storage, whatever, pickling. Hey, Okie grower. So that's why my last test, I've done, like I said, I can do apples, and as long as they work, like you said, they work well in apple pie, I can do apples. Once my apple trees start producing, I'm going to run a bunch of apples and get them dehydrated and in storage. I could use a Dutch apple pie, Jane. Anyways, Jane, I sent Jane a little gift. It was just funny. She had mentioned a while back, and I almost forgot. One day I was out there in the shop, and I'm like, oh, I had a piece of wood that I used for mine that was just big enough for two, because I was going to eventually turn it and make another one, because I made that poo emoji. So if you want to go check out her short, go give her some attention on her channel. Go watch her short, and she'll show that. So I mean, she wanted one, and I had the extra piece. So I'm like, you know what? She's been so kind to me and helped my channel and done so much for me. She sent me that device, the hydroponics and stuff, and I couldn't pass it up. You know, it's not the greatest. I'm not an artist. My hands aren't. I don't paint as smooth as some. I'm just not an artist. I've been a bull in a china shop my whole life. I just don't have the delicate. I couldn't be a surgeon. I just couldn't do it. I would be hurting people rather than helping them. I'm doing I mentioned yesterday, a mayo roll. If you've ever cooked with mayonnaise or baked with mayonnaise, I have this is my little handwritten book. This has been years in the making. This is probably 100 recipes. Some old ones I have toyed with. Some are mine right from scratch, where I have started with something, wrote it down. You'll see crisscrosses, like I showed yesterday or the other day. I tried one, and I actually put big line through it and no, because it wasn't a very good one, so we decided that was a big no. And then I'll put 1 or 2 stars if I really like it. And then those are getting added to, my wife made me this, Jason's recipe book. So, and it has this thing where you can put all your recipes, you can write all your recipes in here, time, temperature, directions, and then just an extra big back section if you need to carry on to the next page. So this is going to be something that'll be a hand-me-down. You know, when I'll put my special recipes in here, some from my mom, some that I've come up with and that I really enjoy. And then when I, you know, walk towards the light someday, this will go to my kids, and then they can photocopy it and make a second one or something. And then I have my, if you guys saw it the one day, this is going to be the first one to go in. It is my recipe for those oatmeal pancakes. They were delicious. So I'm putting that in later today. Okay, so I did have a couple questions here. Before I get to the other question, does anybody have a freeze dryer? Does anybody else dehydrate a lot in their homestead or gardening or whatever? Even if you don't have a homestead, you don't have to have a homestead to dehydrate. If you want to dehydrate, you can dehydrate. But hey, NDT. Yeah, I looked at freeze dryers. Freeze dryers are expensive. That's why I kind of went with just dehydrating for now. Okay, Coach Juliet. Yeah, freeze dryer is expensive. So Uncle Bob, you do dehydrate a lot. Okay. So let me ask a question here. There's so many on here that are that I follow a lot and interact with every day, constantly, with watching your stuff. You guys watch my stuff. When I'm looking at getting a new phone of some sort or some device. I've been saying that for a while now. The reason I haven't was when I set out doing YouTube, I decided, when I decided I was going to challenge to get monetized, I wanted to do it with the equipment that I had. And that is, believe it or not, an iPhone 8. So I use an iPhone 8 for most of my filming, outside, inside. Sometimes if my wife leaves her iPad home from work, I use her iPad. Now that I did get monetized, I said once I got monetized, then I would start to look at a better phone. I'm not going hog wild because I'm never going to be a videographer. I'm not going to be doing movies. I'm literally doing homestead stuff in the dirt, outside. So I'm not bringing all this fancy equipment out. It's going to be a phone or a tablet or a GoPro or something. So I guess a Yule phone. ULE phone. So what do you guys use? Is what I guess my question would be. You have a camera for inside and a camera for outside. I also use my phone. We edit with Clipchamp. Clipchamp, okay. Clipchamp is the editing software. I'm writing these notes down, so if I'm looking down, that's why. Clipchamp. Spongy uses her iPhone 15. Yeah, I know their quality. They have the multi-camera or whatever they call it in the back. So you use a Samsung A12. Tiffany has an A12, Samsung A12. I know a lot of it has to do with the camera setup on the back. Like this, my phone here has a single camera on the back. You're using an Android, but your stepdaughter just donated me her iPhone 16. So grateful. Okay, so I'll watch some of your new stuff, and if you're going to use it for that, I'll see how it's done. Okay, Okie Grower says iPhone has the best. Kodiak Pix Pro. I'm writing these down just so. So here's my other question. Oh, Hearth and Home is a 14. Hey, Mac Movement. Just got a gimbal and Brian's phone is 14 years old. He just picked up a Samsung A15. Okay. Do you use, Tiffany, do you guys use the A16 for filming? A Samsung A16 from Walmart online. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. So here's my other question. If you use a GoPro or one of those digital cameras, I understand if they're Bluetooth initiated or whatever. Do you then like upload that to your phone or to your iPad or something, or plug it in so you can work with your editing software? Or does your camera have the editing software on it? I don't understand the whole camera situation. Okay, living my best life. You had an iPhone 8 and refurbished it. Okay. I upload my videos into my computer. Okay, into a real computer. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to get away from. The thing that's really nice about the iPad or the phones is I use KineMaster as my editor. You have a GoPro and pocket camera and don't even use it. So it's so much trouble trying to transfer. It takes too long. Okay. So you have to have a computer with GoPro. Okay, so I'm assuming if you have any of those cameras, you gotta upload it to a computer. Built-in. So the studio stuff, Jane, I would just download my app for KineMaster, because that's what I like about the iPad and the phone I have. I have the KineMaster, I have it on both my devices, and then I can do a video, and it's all right there. I can just bring it right in. I'm on the device I'm editing on, and it's really nice. It's going really well. Real Outdoor Living is in the house. It's going good. Just busy. If I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff in before next week. We're hoping, supposedly, my grandson gets both of his casts. He's got the casts from his hips down to his feet, all the way down to his toes. So he can't even move his legs. So they come off Wednesday. So hopefully when we get to Wednesday and that he gets that release from those, and if everything comes out good, x-rays and whatever, everything comes out good, then things can go back to quasi-normal in my life and I can get going again. But that's why I haven't been putting out as much stuff, but because I help with him. So, but once I get through that, I want to start studying this week what to start with next. The reason I kept my iPhone 8 and used it for so long was the challenge to me when I first started my YouTube in February of 25 was to get monetized. I think that's everybody's goal pretty much, is to get monetized. And I did not want to buy any new equipment. I did have to buy a $6 microphone from Amazon, and I bought the tripod. It was $12 from Amazon. Because those are must-haves in my opinion. You brought a Chromebook thinking it was a laptop. A lot of those, Natty, I've already had in the mix, because when I do have time, I'll do 4 or 5 videos just so I have them in the mix. So some of those are a month old. I just because there was so much between the operation and touch and go, and then other issues. I just wanted to make sure I had stuff in the mix. So yes, there is stuff coming out, but that chamber is starting to empty out. But once, like I said, once next week, if those casts come off and things get back to quasi-normal at the Okie household, we'll be rocking and rolling. But I didn't want to buy any equipment until I got monetized, because once you get monetized and then you become, you create this, whatever you're going to do. If you're going to do, what do you call it, a sole proprietorship or an LLC or whatever you're going to do to start your business, you can do write-offs. So that's what I've been looking into. I didn't want to go out and just buy a bunch of equipment, because once you start a business, you can start writing stuff off on taxes. And so that's why I didn't want to spend a bunch of stuff. So if I get a new computer for using it for that, then boom, you can write some of that off. I'm meeting with somebody here soon. Same thing with the phone. If I get a new phone that's specifically for that, boom, I can write some of that stuff off. So again, that's why I didn't want to go out and spend a bunch of my own money and then fail. Say I didn't get monetized. Now I have a new camera, I have a GoPro, I have a new computer. I spent $1,500 on stuff and I pulled the plug on it. So, yes. Yeah, I hate schedules too, foraging. Spongy. The question isn't if I am ready. The question is, are you ready? Think about that. Are you ready for Okies to come onto your channel? Because who knows what's going to happen. You just don't know with Okie. I mean, I could come on with a cup of coffee, or I might get crazy, come on with a pumpkin smoothie. I just don't know. You know, everything's on the table. It is not cheap to do this stuff. It's not your right real outdoor. You are correct. Whole equipment kit, GoPro. So you know what's funny is, yeah, Flask. Just before I started YouTube, I was watching all, the gurus, do this, do that. You got to do this. If you do this, you can become monetized in 2 days, and blah, 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 blah. He was 12 or 13 at the time, and he said he had a successful YouTube channel. And what he said was, if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, Kool-Aid man with that shirt. Oh yeah. See what I did there? Oh yeah. But he said, if you're looking at starting a YouTube channel, don't wait to be perfect. Don't wait to have the perfect microphone. Don't wait to have the perfect video device. Don't wait to have the best editing software. He said he started with an iPhone 8. Start making videos, get them uploaded, get into the algorithm so YouTube starts to understand what you're doing. Then that other stuff comes later. That was from a kid. I mean, literally, that was from a preteen teenager that gave that advice on his YouTube channel. And I never wrote that channel down. I'm so mad at myself, because I would love to have gone back and watched his earlier stuff. Okie grower, email me. We can meet up sometime. I'm just down here. I'm down here sitting in southern Oklahoma, down near the Red River, borderline of Texas. So okieseating@gmail.com, and let's set something up. Someday, I think you might be up north of me. So we can meet up somewhere, or if you're heading down this way, in February, we have that coffee shop I'm gonna be doing a live in to help support her business and hopefully come up with an Okie roast coffee, maybe, we'll see. We can meet in a coffee shop, or we can meet somewhere else, or at a home, or I don't care, and we can do a live together or something. That'd be cool. But it's amazing that sometimes it just takes. It doesn't take a guru or somebody that's been in YouTube for years. It took a preteen or teenager to say, just start. And it was like the V8 where you slap yourself through the face palm. Yeah, no, I know where Wendy is. Wendy is Guthrie. We go to Oklahoma City often. So someday I do plan on stopping into their farm if they will have me. I just don't want, when Okie shows up, I don't want property values to go down. When you get this, I'm a hillbilly from upstate New York in the backwoods. We tend to bring property values down. Hey, Mr. Block. Thank you for stopping by. Pumpkin spice oak. See, that's why it's good to go live, because people have ideas. That is really cool. You live in the Poconos. Okay, Poconos, that's Pennsylvania, I believe, right? The Pocono Mountains or whatever, because that was huge years ago. I don't know if it still is, but that was a lot of people honeymooned there after they got married. They'd go to. I knew many people that went to the Poconos. So, Okie grower, just if you can get a chance to email me kind of where you're at. You don't have to give me your address. I just want to know kind of where you're at. Yeah, we could do that. I'd love to, yeah, because I know Wendy's mentioned before about stopping in. I would love to stop in and see their operation. And then if other people could be there, we should talk about that. Maybe she'd be open to something like that. We could go up, because my wife and I love going to, we love Bricktown. Bricktown is one of my favorite places to go. I'm about equidistant between Dallas and Oklahoma. I'm sorry, Dallas and Oklahoma City. I will go to Oklahoma City before I go to Dallas. Dallas is a concrete jungle. In the summer, when you drive through there, you can, even with your AC on, you get the smell of the city, the smell of the heat, the pavement, all of that. Hour north of Wendy. Okay, I'm about an hour and 40 minutes south of Wendy. So, Okie grower, let me mention this to her. Maybe if anybody would want to watch that, I don't know if you'd want to watch that, but what if Okie grower, me, and foraging and Wendy had a meetup at some point and had a camera with all four of us doing a live stream live right there? I think that would be pretty cool. Toby's. I have not eaten at Toby's. We have been to, we love the Bricktown Brewery. That'd be awesome foraging. Let me talk to Wendy and see if we can do this. Okay, living my best life. Yeah, I get that. We like Bricktown Brewery. I love Bricktown Brewery, and I love Rendezvous Pizza. They have two locations, one in Oklahoma City, Bricktown, and one in Edmond. I've been to both. I like the one. They're both the same. They're delicious. They have Chicago style, Detroit style, New York style, and like LA style or something. That's why they call it. That's why they call it Rendezvous, because they take from 4 areas in the United States and they rendezvous at one spot in Oklahoma City. I go to the bus, the coffee bus, which is, oh my goodness, what is the name of the coffee bus? I can't remember the name of the coffee bus. Hey Muriel, how you doing? And Missy, how you doing? Bo's RV Life. Hey, Bo could even make it. He drives around in his RV. what is the name of it? It's a coffee place. It's Junction Coffee is in Oklahoma City in Bricktown. They also have the coffee bus. It's a double-decker bus they brought over from London years ago, one of the tour buses. And what they do is they have all their baristas, they have their own coffee brand and all their merchandise. And then what you do is you order right from the window. You can take your coffee and either go with it, or you go upstairs in the second story, and they have benches and seats, and you can sit there and eat their Danishes or whatever and drink your coffee, and you overlook Oklahoma City, Bricktown. They go to Scissortail Park a lot. They go to the Botanical Gardens a lot. They go to a lot of different places. And you get on their text list, and they will actually text you each week what their location is on what day and what time. So if you're going to be there, you get a text that'll say, typically there's Scissortail Park or the Botanical Gardens. I like the Scissortail Park because I like to go get my coffee. You can go sit on a bench and people watch. I like to people watch. And what's cool is they have those, Lime is the name of them. It's through, I think, Uber. They have those e-bikes and e-scooters and everything. And you can rent those and drive them all over Bricktown. But we just love Bricktown. So if anybody was ever up to that, doing a collaboration, if we can talk to Wendy about it, we could, my wife and I would just take a long weekend. We'd go up to Bricktown, and then I could just swing up to Guthrie, and then we could meet up at her place if she wanted to, or somewhere in Bricktown, and try to do a live with 4 or 5 of us for an hour or so. I think that'd be pretty cool. And we go to the Garage for burgers. We love the Garage. They got really good smash burgers. Oh my goodness. Rendezvous Pizza. And then we went to the Charleston, which is a little expensive, but the food's pretty good. We go to the Spaghetti Factory, and then they got the Spaghetti Warehouse. That's pretty good. We've been to, who was the baseball player? Oh, not Johnny Bench. What was his name? They got a restaurant up there. We've been to that one. And then we just try a bunch of them. We love them. To get set up with RV tires, Cameron, tow mirrors costs a lot, so now I am set up. Yeah, I get that, yeah. Did you get a new place, Bose? I know you said that they were talking about changing their rental policy or something at the place you were at. I think you did a video. I think it was you. I have a couple of people that do the nomadic life, and I've been on their channels for a lot of years, and we've communicated back and forth, and I always tell them, if you're ever driving through Oklahoma and you need to stop somewhere for free, you know, you can stop in here. We'll load you up with water for free. You know, you can hook into our power for a couple days if you want to. See you later, Spongy. See you tomorrow. I have not tried Cholino's. I have not. And now that we found out they have a Texas Roadhouse, which we didn't realize, we were up there last year, and my grandson had 3 weeks of the DMI therapy, which is the intensive therapy for physical therapy. And we spent 3 weeks up there and never even thought to check to see where the nearest the Texas Roadhouse was. And we're on our way home, and I said to my wife, hey, could you see if there's a Texas Roadhouse up here? She goes, yeah, there was one 20 minutes from us. So we were there for 3 weeks in Oklahoma City, and we didn't even think about checking the Texas Roadhouse. So I got some good information from everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm going to look up the Ulefone, Clip Champ Editing, Samsung A12, the Kodiak Pix, Samsung A16. I probably missed some of those because I was writing when they were, you know, showing up on screen. But I'm going to definitely check some of that stuff out, and I'll report back to everybody so everybody understands and knows what I'm doing. But I'll tell you what, I wish you guys could smell the inside of my house right now, because behind me, I have been to Cattleman's. Yes, Cattleman's is pretty good. I like it. Check out, there's a couple down here in Marietta, Oklahoma. I don't know how far down you want to go, but there's Bernieville has up the road on 32. There's a RV that's really remote. I can check prices for you if you want. And then there's a few in Marietta, and there's a couple coming down 35 around Ardmore-ish area as you come down south to 35. Oh, hey, thanks, Zed. When we get done here, if anybody wants to go check out Zed, she's got a good channel. And I know that Have Fun in Nature, their whole thing is to get going with a homesteading and canning and all that, but they do like to travel, so I think they talked about maybe traveling again in the future. So that'd be pretty cool. I know they're up in Montana, so it's not like just a hop, skip, and a jump to get to Oklahoma, but I know they like to travel. But yeah, I'll contact Wendy and see if she's interested in doing something, and then maybe in March or something, we can set up something where a bunch of us can get up there, and then we can just announce it to all of our subscribers, and we have a live up there or something. We might even be able to do a couple over a couple days or something. Gotta be free, that's right. That's why I tell people that, like the nomad people I don't work with, I know online that I've known for a couple of years and follow their channels. They're not over this way often, but they always said if they do stop over this way. And I said, if you need water, come fill up here. You can have it for free, and it's good water. And chicken fries, steak. Oh wow, cinnamon roll. Wow, that would be dangerous. Boy, the calories in that must be amazing. Oh, I'm sure you do love your mama. Love them while you have them. Because before you know it, both of my parents, I lost both of my parents my father was 15 years ago and my mother was 12 years ago. Yeah, March is nice because the weather's not so super hot, but we'd be inside, so I mean it wouldn't matter. Oh, are you guys close with him as far as Oklahoma? Are you guys close with him as far as like personable and stuff, or you have a good relationship? You have to let me know where he's from. Yeah, look, we can meet in person someday. I mean, you meet the Okie, it'll change your life. Whenever I go somewhere, if my son's with me, he'll tell people to, my son will say, when we walk in the room, he'll go, hey everybody, don't get too close to my dad, you'll catch us stupid. So, that is my son. Okay, Kendall's, yeah. I'll have to check that out, because we take road trips often. Hopefully, when you saw storm shelters, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, the storms, I lived up north. I lived in upstate New York. I lived out by Buffalo. So you deal with heavy snow, ice, your car rots out every 4 or 5 years because of the salt on the roads. There's so many things to deal with up there. Lived in Texas, the heat. You got to be able to deal with the 105, 110 heat. The first year we moved to Texas, we lived in McKinney. It was that year we had 90 days of no rain, and it was 30 of those days in a row, I think were 100 or above. And it was just brutal. Okay, Noble's right off of, yeah, okay, Noble, yep, right off I-35. Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing signs for it now, yep. We've been to we stayed in Norman actually. We had a bed and breakfast, or not a bed and breakfast, what do you call those when you rent the house for a week or 2 or 3? We rented a house for 2 or 3 weeks up there for my grandson when we were up there with his therapy stuff. Yeah, whatever. 31 years from Southeast North Carolina, yep. Hey, Christine. If you do a live that is scheduled each week. By now, I think everybody knows. If you go to my community post, I started a post, and it's people that I follow and that follow me, and I've been slowly gathering what day they go live, day and time, Central, Eastern, Mountain, whatever time. And then I've been adding that, and I put them in, I started with Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and just bunch them by the day. So it's not favoritism, it's not like in alphabetical order and just going by the day. And so with that said, if you want to be added to that, simply go to that community post. In the comment, just say, yes, can you please add me this day at this time and what time zone you're in. I've made mistakes and I've asked people, please, I make mistakes. I know. You're all like, no, Okie doesn't make mistakes. But yes, I do. I make mistakes. So if I did make a mistake on a time or a day, just drop a comment below. And I've already made multiple mistakes, and I want people to correct me so I get it right. And what I'm trying to do is, it shows up blue. So all you have to do is, if it's Wednesday and you have nothing to do that evening, you can just go to that post and just scroll down to Wednesday, and it'll have some of the people I follow, if I have them on the list. And all you gotta do is, if you wanna watch them at that time, just click on that blue, it takes you right to their page. So, Kay has 5 kids. How you doing, Kay? So I hope that makes sense. So if you want to be added to that, just go to that post and just say, hey, can you add me to it? I'd be more than happy to. It takes me 32.3 seconds or so. And I'll add you to that. And I've gotten a lot of comments about it. And from what I understand, some people are getting traffic from it. And that's the whole idea, to support traffic to your channel. So, and if anybody wants to, if you want to share that on your page, so just share it to your page. Then you don't have to always go back to mine to find the post. Feel free to share it. And then that just helps them out even more, because it's going to put their channel out on your page, or a group of channels. So feel free to just copy it, share it over on your channel. I have no problem with that. Because the whole idea is to try to drive as many people to everybody's lives as possible, because lives do help. And it's nice when you have an active live. If you get one person and they're just kind of in and out, it's not as exciting. You get more people, Oh, hey, mainly Italian. You got to go watch Mainly Italian. I like her channel. You just got a blue wrench. Feel free to hook with, or find out, look up anybody here you want there, Mainly Italian. So, it is Friday, and it is coming up to the weekend. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Okay, Lisa, thank you very much. You don't have to do that. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. With the monetization stuff going on, I still haven't decided when I start getting money what I'm going to do with it. Like I said, I'll probably put it. I'll help. I do some charitable stuff. I'm not blowing my horn. I'll probably funnel some of it. I don't want to say funnel. That's terrible. I'll probably use it for that instance, and then also for gardening stuff. So to continue to grow the Okies Eden brand. So Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. I'm always shocked when somebody does that. I still don't. It doesn't ring in when I see a different color on the screen. It kind of like, I think my computer's going bonkers. But thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I really do. So a lot of people on here, their lives, when they go live, are on. So please go check it out. Please share it to your community post, so you have the whole list of everybody I've put on that list. And then you might have to check back once a week, because I do get comments. I've already added a couple more people, and I'm going to keep adding people, and it'll just go by day: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Just thumb down to the day, click on it, and you can go into their live and watch what they're doing, and then save it over to your channel so you can just have it there. Tracy Lewis, how you doing, Tracy? So, anyways, so if you guys saw the pastries, did you guys see that community post with the pastries? There was 4 pastries on my cooking tray. So I'm working on that now. So that recipe is going to be coming out next week. And right now I have beef slow cooking in my crock pot that'll have a mushroom and beef pan gravy, which I'm going to do from scratch, from the juices from the beef. So I got some really well marbled, inexpensive stew beef, which is rendering down now, and it's just creating all of this really good, the juices in the bottom. And then when I remove the beef, I'm just going to put it in the pan, reduce it, throw in my roux, throw in my mushrooms, and let it simmer for 15-20 minutes to reduce. And then I'm going to use that on top of the dish. So if you've never made pan gravy, it is delicious. What a crock. That's right, Foraging. What a crock. I said that the other day because I've had alligator. I don't know if you guys ever ate alligator, but I like alligator tail. I've had alligator rib. To me, I like it. So I told the people the other day, you know, I went to cook alligator at my house the other day, but I couldn't because I only have a crock pot. So, boom, boom, there's my dad joke for the day. So that will be coming out next week. Yes, traveling. I know Florida, because I used to go there every year for our vacation, down to a place called Avon Park, which is in Central Florida, down by Sebring. And we used to go there, and they had a couple restaurants that served it. And then I was talking to the guy, and I said, "Where do you get your alligator from?" And he goes, all over down in the Everglades, they have alligator farms, and they raise alligator for the meat. So I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. So believe it or not, they have alligator farms. It didn't taste like chicken to me. It's just got a gamey, different taste. I like it. I mean, I like most meats. But the ribs were good. The ribs didn't taste much different than regular beef ribs. I mean, you know, you put a little sauce on them and stuff. And it does have a little bit more of a fishy taste, yes. Yeah. But so that'll come out next week, that recipe. And then I'm doing my mayo roll recipe probably next week. And then I got some garden stuff going on. There's 2 or 3 videos coming out about the garden, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I know everybody else has been busy. I'm trying to keep up with everybody as much as I can. I actually have 3 TVs running right now. I have 2 listed on one of my community posts for today. I think it's, I'm gonna get this wrong, but I believe it's Tidy Twins Mom today and Review 82, something Review 82. I'm gonna mess it up, but you can go check those out. Try to give them some support if you can, if you have time to support them. Help them with hours if you can. Thumbs up would be great if anybody can thumbs up. Thanks again, Lisa, for that super chat or whatever it was. I don't even know what it is. I still don't understand all that. I've signed on for it, but I don't know what it all means. But yes, this beef is going to melt in your mouth. Wait till you see the recipe. I made 2 versions the other night as a trial for me and my wife. And first time I've done them, and they were absolutely stunning. I mean, they were just so good. Hey, Lisa. I'm going to give you the wrench here. Lisa's really cool. Lisa is very supportive. But yeah, it's going to be delicious. But we really enjoyed them. And so it was only 2 days ago when I made them. And I wanted to make sure I had it down pat how I wanted to make them. And then what I'm going to do is change it up because you can do sweet and savory for what I'm using basically. So eventually I'm going to do a pumpkin dish. Lisa vlog, how am I with my family? Like, I would say my family, my wife, kids and grandkids, great. My extended family, that's a whole different story that just is 100% drama for the last 40 years. So, and it hasn't gotten any better. So, but my main family down here in Oklahoma and Texas, everything's all good. You want a coonskin cap? There you go. I'm one of 9, so I mean, there was 11 in my family. I have 9 siblings. And then, if they had had them all, my mom, we lost, one was a stillborn, and then my mom they had one pass away after birth. So if she had continued on, there would have been 11 of us, but two didn't survive. They would have been my oldest siblings, obviously. Yeah, Tiffany, yeah. I think a lot of people have those families. And it's just, it got, it got to the point when we moved. So where I lived, we moved